He set up a sniper rifle at a high vantage point overlooking Wall Street and aimed at his own fund manager. Without a moment's hesitation, he pulled the trigger. Then, he readjusted his sniper angle, aiming at the executives watching from inside the Wall Street building. These so-called social elites are demons who feed on the blood and sweat of ordinary people. He wasn't just seeking revenge for himself, but for the countless working-class victims who were driven to ruin. After unleashing a round of indiscriminate shooting, the man pulled out 2 grenades. He put the rifle back into his bag. He poured gasoline all around and set the evidence ablaze with a single match. Then the man calmly walked across the street. He put on a white mask and swaggered into the building. Everyone was distracted by what was happening outside the window. No one even noticed the man. Inside, workers were busy with their jobs. Suddenly, the man stormed in with his gun raised. He pointed the barrel at one of the fund managers. He was just about to pull the trigger when he noticed a photograph on the desk. It made him think of his own wife. His name was Jim, a middle-aged man who lived a modest, honest life. A former Special Forces soldier, he found work as an armored truck guard at a security company. Just as Jim and his wife were planning to have a child, she was diagnosed with a malignant tumor. The treatment required constant injections of an extremely expensive drug. Jim agreed without hesitation, but their insurance had already hit its limit. With no choice left, he put everything on his credit cards. When he called the insurance company, they made it clear. From now on, every dollar was on him, and the cost was far beyond what he could afford. Jim found his wife crying. She didn't want to ruin his life with debt. Jim tried to reassure her. He still had $100,000 from his military severance, money he had invested in a fund. It should have been enough. The next morning, he called his fund manager. The man claimed he was overseas and hung up. Bills kept piling up. Credit cards maxed out. The pressure became unbearable. A month later, Jim finally confronted the manager in person. That's when he learned the truth. The so-called high-return fund had been completely wiped out. The bank behind it had already collapsed. But out of greed, they sold worthless junk bonds, promising guaranteed profits to people like Jim. Soon, he received a letter informing him that not only was his investment gone, he somehow owed the bank another $80,000. He called the manager again and again. The man did nothing but shift the blame and dodge responsibility. Another letter arrived, a foreclosure notice. Because of the $80,000 debt, the bank was about to seize their house. Even his job was gone. The company couldn't keep someone handling armored transport whose finances were in ruins. When Jim got home, only to discover that his wife, unwilling to keep dragging him down, had taken her own life. Jim couldn't believe what he was seeing, yet the cold touch in his hands felt terrifyingly real. He decided to spare him, but the others weren't so lucky. Jim rushed into the next office. He unleashed all his rage, but there were too many fraudsters in this place, so he pulled the pin on a grenade and threw it in.